Yes, people, back again. Monday evening, it's the Owls, and we're here for the Parliament. Busy weekend around the world of English football. So we'll get straight into it. How is everybody doing? We'll work our way around. John, how you going?
Yeah, good, man. I'm riding the high off at least one of us having a playoff win this weekend. So.
Yeah. The unfortunate events of last week stopped you having a day at Wembley, unfortunately. But
last week, I think it began on more weeks than that.
6 months, year, Yeah. When did you take over? November?
Yeah, terrible. Not good stuff, but we'll do a little bit on that tonight as well. Over to you, Shuey. Still a Premier League club. How's it going?
Yeah, right. Still sobering up. So I just carried on drinking. So it's 3 days to get through that football. So yeah.
To be fair, as long as it's 3 days to get through the football and not 3 days celebrating staying in the league, then I can accept.
Oh, mate, it was an embarrassment. But I'll get onto that at some point. Because if you stayed after what the TV didn't show you, it was a real embarrassment over there. So.
Okay, well, we'll definitely get into that then, because even what I saw was slightly embarrassing. And I'm not even I'm gonna lie. Okay, Samir, how's it going?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I've lost my voice. I'll be real with you. I've lost my voice.
Oh no!
Yeah, honestly, before we even come on the show, you lot are laughing, and I'm just sitting here broken because this whole week has just been a lot of celebrating, a lot of drinking. But yeah, one of the best weeks of my life, man. We'll get into it.
Cool. Fair enough. And Stocky.
All right.
Another new addition to the EFL crew on the pod. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right.
But that wasn't a dig. It was just a factual statement.
It was just a laugh that come out of me. It wasn't even me either.
That wasn't me either. I don't know who it was, but it was just a statement. We can't skirt around it. It's happened.
What do you want us to do? What can we say?
But it had been coming, and from speaking to you, you kind of resided yourself to it, even though it got a lot closer near the end than people thought it was going to be. Christmas.
It's interesting because obviously I've avoided much as I can, but I read a couple of articles and it's all the state West Ham are in, the ball this and but like all these long reads on the Athletic, like they're fucking digging up some magical insight. It's like when West Ham was saying that when West Ham supporters were saying it 3 years ago, it was you don't know how lucky you are, you don't but we're relegated now, so everyone's all right to regurgitate something we've been saying for years. A bit weird. But yeah, on the football side of it, it was expected. And after 38 games, deserved, so you can't really moan.
Okay, no, fair play to you. I do want to talk a little bit about West Ham, though, not the football inside. We'll start there and then we'll go into the other things. The thing I want everybody to get involved with is how the West Ham go about rebuilding, building, putting together a side that can be competitive in the Championship, and do they think they'll be able to keep hold of Nuno himself and some of the better players in that squad?
I mean, obviously, Stocks, if you want to start on this, feel free to.
I'll say one thing before you say, John. You said about Nuno. Rumor is he could be gone whilst we're on this show.
That bad?
There's already been a meeting today.
Has he gone with money, mutual, sacked, or just walking away?
I think that's what we're trying to find out, because there was a clause in the contract about relegation, whether the club break it or he activates it. Probably sorting out compensation, but apparently there was a meeting today. So you crack on from there, John.
Yeah, I mean, I would be I was going to start with him essentially, because I would be very surprised if that's not in somewhat mutual, because I would imagine Nuno, coming, the circumstances he left Forest in were peculiar to say the least, right? But like, he would obviously fancy himself a Premier League manager, and I don't think he's going to be short of Premier League jobs coming available over the next few weeks. I still think things were a bit up in the air at Fulham. You don't necessarily like I know there's a lot of rumours of Iraola to Palace, but now all of a sudden in the last couple of hours, there's a lot of breaking news about AC Milan, and they've had a massive full sale clear out and have apparently approached him. I mean, the irony of Nuno starting next season at Palace in the Europa League could be hilarious. Should all the cards fall into place for that? But my point with where you guys go though would be, I think it's evident, and I think you're doing the right thing getting it sorted today, because if Nuno's not staying, or if he's no intention of staying, I think the first thing you need is someone at the helm that's going to know what they're doing. We had a chat about this in the pub last night, and I think honestly, to me, the man that I would be looking to go go absolute tooth and nail to make sure that you get appointed would be Scott Parker. Yes, there's an affiliation with the club, but more importantly, he's worked ways of getting sides out of that division without necessarily always having the financial power behind him. I would be very interested now. Obviously, player-wise, that'll be up in the air because you're going to have to sell. And I was maintaining in the Championship, your season don't really start until the international break in September anyway, because it's an absolute rodeo, like until that deadline day in August or whatever. But I would say if you're getting rid of Nuno tonight, I think Scott Parker's got to be the name that you're probably looking to appoint as soon as possible, just to get that started.
Yeah, fair point. I'm like you say, we spoke about it yesterday. I'm quite behind the Scott Parker appointment. I think he's done decent jobs at most of the places he's been, especially if you're looking from a Championship point of view as well.
Yeah. What I'd say is the team seriously lacks identity. Not like, I know that we'll get into the club issue of that, but the team lacks it as well. And I was looking, so West Ham have never paid compensation for a manager. They've always got someone who's free.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Under the Sullivans, they've never bought someone like, we want that manager, we're taking him off you. They've always been unattached, right? So I was obviously, it makes sense to look at unattached ones. Someone else in the similar Parker thing of knows what he's doing and we get the team together, but it'd be eruptions if we got him, was Daesh.
Wow.
He knows the job though, doesn't he? Jeez.
Like, when you lack character, he'd find it, and I'm sure he'd know the level, but yeah, it's that was just a suggestion other than Parker, because you can't just put it all on one thing, because I imagine he'd be an in-demand man.
Yeah, I think there'll be loads more names in the hat that we probably won't even mention tonight, but don't you think a Daesh would sort of be on the back foot from the start? Because
anyone's going to be on the back foot, to be honest.
But even more so, because
yeah,
there's this whole West Ham way thing, which I know what I see it as, I know what you see it as, but a lot of people see the West Ham way as like a very sort of easy on the eye type of football.
Yeah, but
And
Parker doesn't
Daesh,
play.
is it?
Parker don't play that either.
No.
We all know Sam Hargreaves, and he's not been very impressed all year. So but he knows how to get out of the Championship, having done it on 3 separate occasions with 3 different clubs. But
Which I think is going to be a hard league next year as well. So the know-how of getting out of there is essential.
A tremendously hard league, and he's going to have one hell of a turnover of players.
Yeah.
So, essentially, I understand why they're getting a manager in now, because that fucker's got to get straight on the phone.
Yeah.
Start finding out who's available, who's interested, who's going.
Yeah.
So much to do. So, I never often give Sullivan any credit, but if they're going to do it, at least they've got the ball rolling now.
Yeah, because that's job number one. Know who's going to be in control, and then he can sound out the
It's
play.
for him to plan it out, isn't it? Yeah.
Also, a little caveat. We still have had no notifications about season ticket renewal.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Nothing. There's not been a thing. Because I was concerned that, I've just I do too much admin at work, so I don't do life admin very well. I thought I just missed the emails.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't. I even went onto the club website, and they've still got the link up for season tickets last summer.
Wow.
So it's not been done at all. So I imagine they'll try and get a new manager in ASAP, and then say the season ticket thing.
I reckon there's a term and condition in there that means it's a rolling contract, and you just ain't aware of it yet. So
Well,
Check your bank already, mate.
That's it. Go back to the link from last season and read the small print.
mate.
What do you mean we've lost 20,000 season ticket holders? How are we going to stop that from happening again?
They can try doing that to my bank account, but it's going to get the big. I've got.
That survey
How
says.
the rich people say it. I have to rotate some funds around to pay that season ticket.
Fair.
For us mere mortals, I've got to crack open that penny jar.
Oh, mate. Yeah,
Get some
no
cash in
feeling.
the bank and start counting out.
I'll be honest with West Ham. For me, I know we're talking about the manager stuff. I agree, but you've got to keep players like Souček. I know me and you were talking about the other day. Souček is such a phenomenally underrated player, both ends of the pitch. But a lot of people slag him off. I know a lot of West Ham fans don't like him, but he is such a presence at both ends. He's so good. I think if you've got someone like that, that league is about grinding. Yeah. And I don't think there's a better player. Probably in the league, I don't think there's better players that can do as much at both ends as he does.
His footballing's underrated. It's
Definitely.
I'm not saying it's amazing, but go on so much about the intelligence. I said we lack character as a side. You need a few more to get through a championship season. You need a few more players like that, and you need a manager that's going to harness that as well.
Yeah, I know. Like Bowen's West Ham through and through captain. I know we were talking the other night again, but Souček, I just think he is everything that a club needs and wants, and especially now in a grind, is someone you're going to rely on. Because keeping hold of Bowen is going to be a struggle. I think if you don't make him captain, that's an absolute travesty.
It was interesting. It was interesting what Bowen said last night. I suppose it was just after the game. His interview saying he was very committed, but I must say when he scored, he was so dejected. Probably because you just knew what was going to happen. Really,
I was going to say they know what's going on, didn't they? So
yeah, but I was like, don't seem someone who's all in. But then I saw the match of the day thing like just on socials because I weren't seeking out watching that. Fuck me.
How old's Bowen now? 29.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's at a place of he might give it a season?
Without a doubt.
Because
it's a good chance.
He hasn't made the World Cup, so it's not like he has to move back up to the Premier League to keep in the England team either for any reason or anything like that. Absolutely. And he's always said, and there's always been the line that he doesn't want to leave London. He loves West Ham, all of this and all of that. So if he does want to stay in London, what is the point of moving along? He can have his season in the Championship. He can potentially help West Ham come back up. If it doesn't work and it all goes wrong still, next summer the move's still going to be kind of there. But then the club needs to weigh up whether the money goes down.
Yeah.
But just think, what London club does he go to? Because I don't think he clearly wouldn't go Spurs. I don't think he'd go Chelsea. You ain't going to go Arsenal. So what's left out of it? Like really, that's going to be for what?
Palace.
Well, Arsenal going to have to improve next year. You can't stay still.
I'm pausing to let him go. It's fine.
Obviously, his voice is going to get.
I don't see what suits him. I don't see what actually suits him football-wise either.
Do you know what?
I
was going to say, I think he's properly carrying an injury.
Oh yeah.
I think there's really like people who like watch a lot of football, and especially with their team, you know when someone's not playing at their maximum. And people are like, he don't, like a lot of people will be saying they don't care. I'm like, he's never been that player, so he's not going to become this player now. I just think he's carried an injury and he's just had to get through it.
He's just blowing, isn't he? He's played like every minute of every game, more or less, isn't he? Like,
this ain't no digs, but he doesn't get the protection that some players do in that league.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a dig.
No,
it's fine. He knows who we're talking about.
What players like Salah and it's not certain players. It's certain clubs that get more protection than others. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think as well with the England point. Sorry, Star. Just a quick cut in there, but like with the England point as well. Like now that he's not going to the World Cup, to be honest, the next tournament in 2 years we're hosting. So there's no. It's not like there's. I don't really see him breaking his back to playing friendlies over international breaks for the next 2 years either. At the age he's at, it's more like can he get you up in a season, and then he's got a year to see if he can force his way back in.
Oh,
Yeah. Like
It's perfect, isn't it, for the Euros?
Yeah. So
he's gonna want to leave then.
it's strange. I wouldn't. Depending on the club that came in, I'd probably be all right, but there'd always be a part of me that'd be disappointed. I said to the boys that were in the pub last night when I got back, it would hurt me more if Souček went.
Really?
Yeah, because I can understand Bowen having aspirations for international football and whatnot, but and you'd get more money for Bowen. If we're going to be a bit brutal about it,
I'm gonna say yes.
But as Shuey said, we're going to need warriors next year because everyone seems to, a lot of West Ham supporters, like the less, no, I wouldn't say less realistic, the ones that have their head in the clouds a bit more, be like, oh yeah, we'll be back up. I'm like, we have got one big fuck off target on our back. We're everyone's big game.
Oh yeah,
100%. And it is a massive rebuild. Like some of the clubs that have been down over the last few seasons don't need to rebuild too much because they've come up with a team, bought a few, and they go back down as a pretty solid team again. Like there could be all manner of players that lead that side, and it's such an unknown to go into. Like there's some pretty big names in there, and Fernandez had another good season off the back of the season he had previously for Southampton. He's going to have ambitions to stay in and around the Prem. Some of the back four are quite big names in before they went to West Ham, so they probably think that even if they move abroad and not even back to the Prem, they're going to think they could play somewhere else other than the Championship. I think it's going to be quite tough to keep a few there.
I think the other thing is the money. Go on, boys.
I was just going to say, if you believe what you read, kind of touching on your point, Shuey, really, is that the belief, if you believe what you read, is that it's somewhere in the region of 100 million that you're going to need to recoup. Now, is there a way that you can do that without selling Bowen? So you look at it and you think, well, yeah, the two obvious names that are going to bring in money are going to be Somerville and Fernandez. Fernandez largely on the strength of the fact his age and the length of contract that you must have him on, and there are the talks of United sniffing around and things like that. I think some of them, I've been seeing linked with Roma and things like that. The guys that you brought in January, like they were obviously very Nuno signings. So if Nuno goes, is there a need for like Pablo and Tati Bojangles? Like, are they going to stick around or?
There's rumours Tati don't, because there was a thing in his contract about losing like your pay going 50% down if you get relegated, and he's not keen to work for half the money. I presume that even on half he was getting more than where he was. So I think that's just paper talk. Another one who'd probably go is Wan-Bissaka. Because he's not even been getting in the outside. He's a bit in and out recently. So what? You'd get a few million for him because he's still a good player.
Still a good player, 100%.
Walker Peters could still get picked up by someone, but again, we were chatting about this last night. But I think that where he actually came down and did a season in the Champo with us, and like I don't think it's beneath him to do it again. Like he'd certainly be he'd be a hell of an asset for you to have at that level. Like I can tell you from experience. But yeah, but he is may also fall under that bracket of all these sides in Europe and needing your English quota. He could be an option for someone if they feel they could get him on a snip. But
we got him for free, so
you're
right, Samir, mate. So in terms of youth players, we'll cover the gap. So a lot of our youth players tend to go out on loan to League One Champo sides, and they've done all right, but they've found the Premier League a bit tough because it's very tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they'll help us to a degree. Just it'd be the goals thing that would be the worry for me. I reckon you can always find sturdy centre backs. You can get a shape at the back, but scoring goals is quite hard, and it's hard for any club. But we have got a horrendous record with getting goal scorers.
But if then no one comes in, I know you don't like him, but if no one comes in for, say, Callum Wilson, and he stays in the Championship, that's a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, he's getting goals.
I would say he'd do quite well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
As long as he stays fit, obviously.
Yeah,
I think that is a big cheat code.
That'd be the caveat.
I think you need the percentage you get.
Yeah, and what you can create for him.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, I think we're at the point like you can't really start him.
Yeah.
Unless you're dominating, and we won't be that side. When you dominate a side, you can afford to get away with one player sniffing around the goal. When you're a bit more backs to the wall, it's like you're having a dead duck up there. Like, it's funny enough. Did any of you boys see his goal yesterday?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ripper.
Sensational.
Absolutely.
Lovely strike, isn't it?
But he got that off the back of missing a chance in front of goal and the keeper saving it. So, you know what I mean? But he come on and looked effective because you got a short window to go and blow your nuts off, ain't you? You can run about, you can be a pest because you got the energy for 20 minutes. When you start,
he looks that much sharper when everyone else is struggling as well. He's all right for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
35 minutes is tops of what you get out of him where he's effective.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, like the two we signed in the summer, it kind of segue into what you were saying, like you wanted to mention the club. Those two signings were so reactionary because we fucked it up in the summer. Because what did we have? I can't even remember who we had before them two. I don't think we had a striker because we had Fulkrug.
Well, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And he went to AC. So
didn't you have like Skamaka before that? Or
that was last season. He'd already gone. I think we was using like Bowen and Wilson up front and like swapping them around, and we were suffering because we didn't have a striker. And it's just always everything's so reactionary. There's never a plan. And when we do make a quick decision, they tend to fuck it. I mean, like, the Potter one was so bad. I try to back managers because it's not nice to be one of them clubs that go, sack him, he's crap, sack him, he's crap. Like, you don't want to be like Tottenham. But
I was right about his dad dying. I'm just saying. I've been proved right. Game 38. That's all I'm saying.
The way you say it sounds like you idiot. But yeah, there's just so many decisions at that club are poor. And the recruitment, it's always so this year because the director of football or technical director, whatever they called that, Tim Schneider, he was shit, spent a load of money, was terrible. And then so this season, David Sullivan went back to being the as they call it in the news articles, the de facto. So he has to give the go ahead on all the signings. And as always, you have the things. Who's that one you were linked with at Bournemouth, Mitch?
Actually, don't know.
Rayan.
Oh, what the player? Yeah, Rayan.
Yeah, we had a chance to sign him in January, turned it down. We had a chance to sign on loan your forward that's been playing a couple of weeks. Yeah, we had a chance to get a player like him on loan at the start of the season, turned it down.
Oh, that's horrible.
And I'm like, that's the kind of energy and effort that this side really lacked. There's just never any joined up thinking, and it just compounds mistake after mistake, and then you end up where you are.
Is there not also an over-reliance with Sullivan on particular agents, which is often something that's levied at him?
That's been levied at him since Birmingham. A particular Will Salthouse, who is the agent of like Callum Wilson, for example.
And appreciating assets, basically.
Yeah, because he trusts them. Because every agent's like true as the day is long, aren't they?
That is mental. That just smacks of something underhand going on, though, rather than it being, I trust this guy, so I'm going to keep going to him. You go for the players you want. You don't go to the agent and then ask for a player profile.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. But that's how he's worked for a long, long time. On top of this, we've got a lot of short-term debt. So every year the club takes out loans Like essentially, they're always payday loans.
Yeah.
We've got like the owners have lent the club money, and they still charge it at a very healthy interest rate. They can't do it for free, but it could be a lot lower. And and you know, like it's like a bank system where they've done the loan and they can only ever keep paying interest. They couldn't afford to pay it all back, so they're always making money,
chasing their tail with it.
Yeah,
constantly.
Owners are always getting a percentage back every year, and things like that. Like, and they seem to think that they're doing their best for their club. They sold the old ground for absolute peanuts, and then they put that all through these different fucking companies, so you lose the track of where the money went. And things like that. They're just proper businessmen, and they give it all the spiel about caring about the club, when I think the only one that did care about the club was Gold, and like he's not here anymore, and his family want to sell their shares.
Oh wow!
So like, yeah.
So on the sort of subject of selling, do you think there's a chance that anybody comes in? Because like from the outside looking in, it looks like a difficult club to try and buy, and then you've also got to factor in not owning the stadium.
Yeah, so the stadium's the big thing, because there's a clause in the deal that if Sullivan sells that controlling stake, they are liable to pay a certain percentage of that money to the LLDC or whatever they're called, so the holding company for the stadium.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be at least 10 years. And I think we went in there in 16. Yeah. So we're in 26. Yeah. So the 10 years. He's always said he's going to give it to his children. Like they'll take, but I mean, by all account, why would you do it? Why would you want to?
Yeah. That's all a bit mad, to be fair. All a bit mad. So what are your hopes over the summer? What do you hope the sort of turnaround of players are? Is there any players that you think are sort of on the edge of potentially going that you'd say that we need to keep them, we need to keep him, and I'd definitely like to see this number go type of thing? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. The problem is, obviously, there's a lot of players you'd want to see go. Like, I'll let Kilman go on a free. I'd drive him somewhere, and I ain't even got a license. That's what I am. Like I say, we haven't got much character in the side, but you've got to keep what you do have. So I'd say Souček. You've got players. Ward-Prowse is on loan at Burnley. He comes back with a new manager. Does he play? He was a bit one-paced at Premier League. Do you reckon he could do it in the Champo still?
Yeah, 100%.
In a rotational, in rotation, yes. I'm not sure of what I've seen of him physically since leaving us. I don't know if he's not playing 46 games, put it that way.
No, he's not. I'd like to see Walker Peters stay, because quite simply, you get more money for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
I think you'd get. I think you'd have quite a few clubs in for him, especially those ones that are just in Europe now that qualify for Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to play massively in like the expanding squad needs and need for it'd be interesting.
We forgot about Doof as well. Doof is very good.
Well, he's not.
You don't think?
He's really not. Like, he's got. To me, you're right in that he looks good. Like when you see his highlights, you go, "Oh yeah, that's a player." But when you watch him all the time, you think,
fair enough.
There's
another 88 minutes you haven't seen, basically.
Because we got him from Slavia Prague, so there he played left back. He's super quick, good left foot, and they're one of the biggest sides in the league. When he's at West Ham, he's got to defend a lot, and it lets him down. Like,
Samir's gone 3 toes deep into the Ryan Manning mousetrap. You know, he's fallen for the sweet left foot, hasn't he?
Well, look, sweet left foots are a very sexy thing, but
honestly, isn't it?
So the best one with Diouf, he's got this special move, right? As a left back, he'll throw it to the line and they'll play it back to him, and because he's so one-footed, he tries to get his body round to clear it up the line, and he just hoofs it back into the crowd every single week. And you're like, oh, what are we doing? Like, he could be really good. Like, he's been linked with Man United. And I'm like, if we made some money on him, I'd have it. Like go see and see if we can, like get one of them Liverpool inhalers for Aaron Cresswell again.
So have you got any players that are just in and around the squad that are sort of a little bit past their best, who would never have really got a game in the Premier League, but might be able to do you a bit of a job in the Champo? Because you've just mentioned Cresswell there. So is there anyone?
No, well, he went to Stoke, but maybe we could lure him back. No, we ain't. Our squad's proper thin. So who did we have on the bench yesterday? We had Kilman, Potts. Magasser could do a job, but we might be able to get money for him because he's like a young French player. So you might be able to
fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, whenever he's come on, he had one. His first couple of games were quite good. Since then, he's been poor, really poor. You've got Potts, who started off well. His deficiencies really got shown up in the Prem. Maybe it'd give him a chance. You got Ollie Scholes, another youth team player who could come in at left back.
I think that's.
Did you have another fullback as well? Looked like he came straight out the early 2000s, young lad. Quite stocky looking mixed race kid.
Oh, Ezra Myers.
That's the one.
Yeah. So he played a few games when we was really struggling at left. I think it's when Diouf was at the African Nations. He played a few games.
Okay. He looked, because every time I saw him, he looked like he was a little bit tidy on the ball, liked a bit of a tackle.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really see much else of him, to be honest. I didn't really see his defending or anything like that.
Yeah, he's more centre-halfy, but we did play him a lot at left back because he was quick in the left foot. You know, in that when you're a young centre-half, you have to play at full-back to learn the ropes, innit?
Yeah, it's the way.
Look at Huey's grin, he remembers. But we've got like youth players on the verges. We haven't got many seniors. Like Traore, he's leaving. Because there was another. So really, despite all this money we spend, and if you look into the club thing, the net spend over the last few years is scandalous.
Does that mean you're sort of a little bit strapped then? You need to sell to be able to facilitate a rebuild.
Yeah, because you want to get players in, and you need to release wages, and also you don't want. Like, it kind of goes unsaid, and everyone goes, "Oh, you lose players," but there's more important people. You know, like the behind the scenes people. Yeah. Like you could have youth team coaches go, like people that work at the training ground, things around the club. They go. Like normal people lose their jobs as well, and people won't think it affects just your match day, but it kind of does. People are losing their fucking jobs. People are going to be pissed off.
It kind of, as much as it probably doesn't directly affect like match day. No one on match day is thinking about that stuff, but the vibe around the club changes. And that just affects the club as a whole overall. So that it sort of filters down that way rather than people rocking up on match day and being like, oh, this person's not here. It's more the overall effect has a negative impact.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of vibe, sorry, I know this is just a wild one that's come to mind now, but like, in the nature of sort of like what you just said about trying to like keep spirits going well at the club and things like that, there's a certain ex-centre forward of yours that, as far as I'm aware, is still unattached and possibly looking for one last year. Do you reckon like Mikel, like a year of Antonio would be like something that could be possibly like?
That's not a bad shout.
Oh my goodness, John! They come out of nowhere that one.
Nah, well, funny enough, he's been very chatty over the last couple of days. He's like, I don't think he wanted to say anything, but he was like, that manager and them owners, like, I hate him.
Wow.
Okay. So whilst Sullivan's there, Antonio won't get a contract because Antonio went to Sullivan and goes like. They offered him a contract, but they said that he'd only play in the under-21s. He wouldn't be playing first-team football. So he went to Sullivan and said, why is this? And he goes, Potter don't want you. He went to Potter and he says, Sullivan don't want you.
Snaky.
Yeah,
so that's what they both did.
Yeah.
And he was like a senior player. Like, he run things for the players. Like, apparently, like, you know, like the fining system. And he was a bit like... But he's a leader.
Fancy dressed on nights out.
Yeah. He's organised transport.
Oh no! Oh, fucking hell!
He did crash 2 cars
Boom.
at the club, you know.
Oh my god! It was going so well. I thought we was going to get through at least 1 week without something
You thought Jack were there and nothing. I haven't even got to the bit what they were singing about Sullivan yesterday yet.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that might be a touch too far. But yeah, like he was a really important figure at the club, and I know he was often maligned. I kind of loved the fact that his touch was so bad sometimes.
Yeah,
but he'd give you everything. Yeah, it depends. There's so much. I think the owners there, he won't get a contract, and he's been cussing everyone out. As well.
Yeah, no, I have just Googled, and yeah, he's been guided.
Fair play.
Yeah, but that might work in his favour because the fans ain't exactly loving everything, and if they've got a player that they love, it happens. Not very often.
Yeah,
but it could force it because they need it.
Potentially, and rolling back to the manager that you suggested first off, Stocks. He's the kind of guy to just go, so what? I want Mikel Antonio.
Yeah.
So if Dyche comes in and he wants Antonio, and he'll probably get Antonio, and it might work. It might just be the mad combination of things that would work. I don't know where he is physically or what he's been doing, but even if someone just to be in and around the club to play when he can and stuff like that, I think that would be a fantastic idea.
He's still been playing international, hasn't he? He's still been playing for Jamaica, hasn't he?
A few games for Jamaica, yeah.
That's mustard. I think you just got to have hungry players, ain't you?
Yeah.
And someone for the players to buy into.
Yeah.
But that's also bringing in experience as well. You know, we're talking about experience. That's a geezer that's been around West Ham, played a lot of football, and he's a character as well. You know, when he plays, you can tell he loves playing for West Ham. I think you can need a lot of that. To come in and know the systems and know everything, the surroundings, it does seem like a fucking no-brainer.
I don't think he's a one fix because I don't think he does play 46 either. So you don't want to get into a position where you've got a squad that's unbalanced enough that you basically half of them can't play 46 games.
No, you let him do 60 and then Callum Wilson does the last 30. We've sussed it.
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Mate, between them, they make one player. They can do 90 between them.
The worst idea. You have to keep switching it. So 1 week is 60, 1 week. The other week is 60, the other week.
They're doing alternative shifts.
Yeah. I mean, Antonio starts the home, Wilson starts the aways.
Mate, seriously, we could, if we don't get rid of him, we could start with Fulkrug in the Championship.
God.
Wow.
No, that is a cheat code.
That is delicious, yeah.
It's not. He just plods about. He doesn't give a fuck.
He might just plod about, but he's like...
I think as a striker, if you could
Championship, I reckon he'd get goals, yeah.
And that's what strikers want. If he gets goals, they soon liven up, don't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah. What you can always hope for with like a Fulkrug is that because the season starts quite early, and actually sort of like we had sort of like Che Adams, I used to refer to as Ballon Che because he only ever used to play well in August and January, and it might just be one of them where like he just comes in and bangs in a ton of goals in the first 3 or 4 games to try and get a move. So it might be productive in getting rid of him at the beginning of the year. Like I said, your true hopes for your season can't really be laid out until you know what you've got in September. But you do have those players that can shop window themselves in pre-season and the early games.
Yeah, like Tadebo, get rid of him. Like generally, all I bought, I was going to say 3 centre halves. I'm not counting Kilman. Tadebo, massive depreciation on where we ended up paying for him. The Sassi was on loan. And loads of people being from Mavropanos because he was excellent this year.
Yeah,
I could see loads of clubs after him.
Well, you're still being linked with Badge Slapper from us, which Stocks, trust me, if you do. That's all I'm going to say.
No, mate.
If Harwood Dallas goes West Ham.
The sirens in my head would be unbearable. He's not good. Like,
No, the sirens would be from me driving him there without a license, like you as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, him and Kilman.
Yeah.
Oh my god, him and Kilman.
Oh yes, please.
Oh my god.
Don't.
Oh, but that's where, and do you know what? That's what years of not knowing what you're doing get you.
Yeah.
Like to a degree, I know I'm complaining about West Ham doing it. Tottenham are exactly the same.
I was going to say, my conversation isn't going to be far off what yours is.
Exactly.
Genuinely, it is so similar. It's painful.
Yeah.
Ours is at the other end though. We had the worst front three in the Premier League.
I don't know who your front three was.
No, honestly, it's the worst front three.
Front three was.
I don't even know who your front three was.
Do you know
Because they
what?
didn't score.
I think it was Shawnee yesterday. He got back. We had a little catch up for 2 minutes, and then he went, "Do you know what? Richarlison scored more goals than Saka this season." I just started laughing, and it was completely out of context. It just threw me off. I was like, "Where the hell did that come from?"
That's a man who was prepared for his journey home. That's what that was.
You know what I think?
That was expecting text messages.
I think what prompted it was because I think Shawnee got to the pub just around the time of the trophy lift, and I think it was when old Limpalong was coming up to get his lift of the trophy, and I think that's when Sean said it.
Yeah, that must have been it. But yeah, that's a damning indictment of a lot of things, to be fair. I can't remember. Well, there was one more question I was going to ask. We've touched briefly on the youth squad. Is there anybody who's sort of in and around sort of whatever the second team's called as? Is it the under-23s now or whatever it's called? Had like a fantastic season that could step over?
I'm less sure about the 23s, but we've had a player feature in a couple of our match day squads, and he had some notable appearances during the season. Was Mohamedou Kante, who we signed from Paris FC for £1 million like a couple of years ago.
Has he come on for the first team? Because I've heard that name.
Yeah, he's come on a couple of times. He played against Brentford in the FA Cup, and my dad said he was excellent that game. He said he was so good. He was like, he's a big kid already, and he's only like 19, so he's still got some growing in him. And you know when players understand their body, so they're happy to hold someone off and let the ball do the work and come across them. He was doing that. He doesn't mind getting stuck in. He's a big boy, so hopefully he'll get some gains in the Championship, and we can see what he's made of.
He is a bit of a unit, isn't he? Jesus.
yeah. I won't I sit up the back, and he still looks big. You know when sometimes whatever ground you're at, you go, "Oh, who's the sub?" I'm like, "That's Kante." No, I'm fucking like Kante. He's like the opposite of the Leicester Kante. I tell you what, if he's half as good, I'll be chuffed.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds like a promising one to have. Potentially having a breakout year in the Championship next season. Next week we're going to do a full show on everybody's season that's just happened, but we'll do a brief little bit on what people want over the summer from their clubs while we're here. John, disappointment come the end of the season. Matters outside of the footballing side of the game took you out of the Championship final. Another year in there, do you reckon it'll be more of a struggle next year, or do you reckon there's a plan in place?
No, of course there's not. It's Sports Republic. The plan A was cheap. Let's be honest. And I'm still not sold on the idea that higher ups at the club didn't know or didn't at least have an inkling of things that were going on anyway. But I think we've got a really, really. I actually had a pop at filming a short today for you. I got that 3 or 4 attempts in and was like, there is no way that I can do this succinctly enough. But I'd say, in terms of a plan for next year, I think I've heard a lot of things in Saint circles about why is Tonda still in the job, and I was touching on this with you guys yesterday. That I think a lot of this is that the last thing the club wants is more legal wranglings, and at the end of the day, the FA are currently investigating. I don't think it's going to take them long. once he's charged, he will end up being banned anyway. And then we're not in a position where we have to pay any compensation for a contract. It's simple negligence, and he'll go. I would imagine in the background at the moment, we are shopping around to see who's going to come into. Well, you would hope that that's what's happening. I mean, obviously Scott Parker would have been a name that I would have been looking at, but I don't think we stand a chance given the circumstances at the moment. I think with West Ham being a job that's available, we probably much prefer that with the connections to the club anyway. But I think it's about what we can keep, and I think there inevitably are going to be players like Shea Charles has already been linked to Premier League moves. Casper Yander will be another one. Leo Cienza will be another. I desperately worry that we're going to end up back with kind of like the axis of terror of like Bazunu in net, Manning at left back, Stevens centre half, and I think it could be this could be the start of a long way down. If I'm being honest, yeah, hard to know, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll go into a lot more. I think I've had a lot of airtime in recent weeks anyway, so I'll kind of leave it at that for the moment. But
no, we'll do a full deep dive for everybody across the board because Jack will be back next week. The Champions League final will be done and dusted. Everybody can actually do full deep dive into their season, what they think and stuff like 100%. That. I just want a little brief. Your hopes over the summer. So probably the next most interesting one's going to be U-Shoes because you imagine there's going to be quite a bit of a rebuild needed there as well because it's been the same group of players for a couple of years. It's not really worked. You've stayed up, but you can't just say, there, let's go again. Let's bring in a couple. Surely there's going to be more done than that.
Nah, like I said, it's the front three. Me and Stocks had this conversation quite a lot, and I know Spurs fans don't like it either, but the clubs are so similar. I've got a couple of West Ham mates. The clubs are so similar with the recruitment and the way it's run and the way it's seen by the fans and expecting a certain side of football. And it is so similar. And it doesn't surprise me that there was only 2 points between us because it just sums up the way the clubs are run. Tottenham's recruitment wasn't looking too bad. Again, we've sold our top goal scorer, 2 years in a row. We looked like we're selling Richarlison this year, so it'll be 3 years on the bounce. Which I know I'm not upset about losing Richarlison, but that's a bad sign to keep selling your top goal scorer every year, and then you're struggling for goals as it goes on. But that front three, genuinely, like I said on Sunday, we started with Spence on the right of that three.
Oh my word! Because
Moana has been that dire that we put Spence there.
Right.
Crazy.
And this is what I mean. That's how bad it's got now. We've got a lot of injuries, but then that Johan Lang come out. We're not signing short term. We don't need them. And then everyone was out. And they were all long-term injuries. What do we have? 3 ACLs, 4, 5 hamstrings. It's been a mad one. But
that's the most expensive medical room ever because all them players are on bags, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. They're not like one of the Odebert did, but they're not like youth players that have done it. These are the players that you needed in a grind, and they all blew out. And as I've got to say it, talking about driving someone, I have now got my license, but I'd give anything to get rid of Romero. Genuinely, what an absolute scumbag!
He rushed back to commit himself to the call, Shuey. He's your captain. Was it captain, leader, legend? He was your Jay Didens.
My boy.
I have not got words that can be said on YouTube to really commit to how I feel about that geezer.
Was he
yeah. He turned up in his giant chinos and his white t-shirt. Absolutely.
Have you always felt that way?
I've always said I'm not a massive fan of him as a centre half because I think he's too rash.
Yeah.
I always
think he could be a lovely footballer, but he's too rash, and it costs you.
I always look back to like when it was going well under Ange, and obviously that Chelsea game being a massive turning point. But so much of that game is literally just the fact that, and he did it multiple times for you. Like the Chelsea one is the one that sticks out, where like he killed you in games by just like you said, the rash decision making is like. I've never actually been a huge fan of him as like a top level centre half. I'm not sure he is.
No, and I think that's the problem. Like I am the old centre half union in that sense, but I know I've been speaking to a few of you, like Mitch and that as well. When you watch him, there'd be times not even just the yellows. He'd fly out and get a stupid yellow, but he'd bomb forward and then he'd be walking back and like the other team's attacking. And you're like, you're 40 yards out of position.
Yeah.
You're a centre half, you're a captain, you're an experienced player, and you're 40 yards away. Or there'd be times he's just like, he's hunting down the ball's being played around the back because he decided not to drop in. And you're like, what are you doing?
I've seen him do something. I don't even watch Tottenham that much. Just from watching the Newcastle games, it was not this season. I think it was last season. He cost you both goals just by one for daydreaming and one because we took a throw, went backwards, and he charged out to close down. I think it was our holding midfielder at the time, and then we just played it into the space that he left and scored. It was like,
this is what I mean. It's such schoolboy errors with him. Now he is nicer on the ball than the centre halves we've got. He can be a good defender, but he is just, for me, he's brain dead. For a geezer that's won the World Cup, it's just beyond me.
That's it.
Actively hoard himself out to Atletico Madrid that summer.
Well, this is the thing. I think that's why he wants to show that aggression because that's the kind of team they are, right? But he's just an absolute bellend, and the rushing back to be there. You should. Why weren't you here?
Yeah, why weren't you here in the first place? Yeah, you don't need to. Where you
rushing
back from? Stay.
Who are the clubs cleared back?
Well, this is the thing. When he said he's rushing back, there weren't one Spurs fan that wanted him there.
Exactly.
It was that bad. Like it's really embarrassing now.
You had to say face.
Isn't it telling enough that people, like, whether it was De Zerbi, whether it was someone in the board, isn't it quite telling enough that someone was like, yeah, go, and thought that would be a good idea in the situation you're in?
I think this is the other thing. The club's clearly let him go.
Yeah.
Now, because he's meant to have quite a lot of sway at the club, there's that side of it. Or two, it's that they know he's going anyway. I think it's the worst hidden secret that everyone knows the geezer's leaving. So just let him go now. He clearly isn't going to be involved next year. Like, no one wanted him walking around the pitch, but that's the one thing I wanted to say. It was quite embarrassing. So there was a lot of stay after. We have to, we've got no Levy, so we're going to start on Enoch and Lang and whatever the geezer's name is, begins with a V. And then everyone was so happy we stayed up. They all wandered off.
Oh, what, I'm sitting there.
Yeah. So then there's only a couple of thousand people, and the players had done their walk, and most of them were still there. When they went in the corner of the stadium, after about 20 minutes or so, they let the families come round, and the players normally do a lap of honour. Stadium was 10% full, and you had a couple of geezers singing with a band, and you're just like, oh, this is too Bob. And it's like, what annoys me is if you really want a petition, you want to, let's march to the Grand. Now stay after. It was meant to be everyone stay in there, prove a point. Nah, we stayed up. If you're that excited to just stay up, piss off. Yeah. Genuinely, that is such a letdown that you're going, I'm going home happy. I'm still fuming. We should never be in that position. And to come away, we've done it now. Like, I do get the players celebrating, but that's relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's celebrating and then there's celebrating. Like, it's kind of a yes. Thank God.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
Right.
Like, De Zerbi came on and he aeroplaned onto the pitch at full time. Fair enough, he hasn't been there full time, but read the room, fella.
And then
it's not that kind of celebration. Sean walked into the pub yesterday. He pulled the perfect face of what I felt Tottenham fans should be doing. It was just like, it was a face of relief, frustration, and thank God this is over and we survived.
I want to agree with you.
And almost bewilderment as well.
Yeah. I want to agree with you, but if I could put De Zerbi on my shoulders, I would fucking run him around as well. Because he's the only way. Him and Kinski are the only ones who really come out of any credit. Paulinho's done better, Bentancur, even Gallagher. That midfield, there's no creative footballer in there. But it's hard work that kind of got us through. But that was it. Like, the football was awful. Everything was painful. That clearly ain't the way De Zerbi plays, and now we got a tune out of that. Like I said, the front three, Richarlison's running in treacle. Yeah. He's honestly so bad.
That's all I
pretty much
come in, and they literally just run about.
Yeah.
And Kinski turned into Buffon 4 or 5 times towards the end of the season because he made a couple of stupid saves.
Well,
even yesterday in the 90-odd minute, he pulls off a great save, and he really has. Like, take that Madrid game away. he's been the difference in these games.
Yeah.
And the other thing is as well,
the Leeds game was key as well because he made 2 in that.
Well, the thing is about that save to his left, where he gets a quick hand up to it. But the difference is, whenever like the ball used to go back to Vicario, the crowd were going mad because he can't kick. And he was always too slow. And you know, when they get underneath it and it's got all that weird backspin. So as a striker, you're like, I'm going to get clattered here by the centre half. Yeah. Like you're already like ducking for it. Where Kinski's pinging it out to people. He's good with his feet. He's playing it out quick, sharp. It's just a world of difference. He's one of the only people that come away. And I will say, Gray got all the Player of the Year awards for Tottenham. And I wouldn't say he was the best player, but he's the only one who didn't let himself down.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he won.
He's the only one in a few games that seemed to give a shit. And
yeah, put him anywhere and at least he ran his nuts off, no matter what. That was it.
You could argue the fixtures have almost like fallen very kindly for you as well, because you played an out to lunch Villa side, and you know essentially Everton have really been hopeless this last few weeks as well. So you've kind of stumbled and bang crash walloped your way across the line as opposed to.
I didn't realise we actually got quite a good record against Everton as well, especially at home, which I was quite surprised at.
Didn't you beat them twice
it worked out quite well. Mate, I don't know, which is weird because we only got 3 wins at home. I think it brought down my season ticket to about 98 points a point. Yeah, 98 a point.
Everton's the only team you beat back to back. I think like you're the only home and away you got this year was Everton. They were the only team you beat.
But mate, there definitely weren't 2 in there. I can promise you that because we only won 3 home games this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't it?
Just to let you know, that's what £1,300 gets you, boys. 3 wins.
Sensational.
Man.
I know.
I want my money back.
Mitch, Mitch, when we're done with Shuey, I had one more Saints thing that I forgot to say, but like.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know if Shuey was done because I
that's what I was going to.
The only thing I was going to moan about is saying about the Spurs fans and how Shawnee felt. I know Deserby asked for it, but turning up, I done a video and I was standing there and they turned up with flares cheering them on.
What?
Mate, if I weren't like only just opened that can, I would have fucking threw it at the coach. What are we cheering them on for? Cheering, come on, boys, do your job.
Yeah. Do you know you've paid £1,300 for a season ticket? Why don't you go and buy some flares as well with that?
Oh man,
mate! I tell you what, I've done more in alcohol.
Flares, hand them out. I don't get people to pay for them when you've been shit all year. What the hell?
Mate, but to cheer them on, let's cheer them all on. What they need motivation. That genuinely, it makes me sick. The fact that we had to, mate, it was like turning up to a cup final.
Oh yeah, that's
like genuinely, like the fans. Oh, I'm buzzing for today. Get a life, you absolute mug. I have no time for these kind of fans. Let's all cheer them on 2 hours before. How about I'm going to go and get smashed and shot? No, I refuse to participate in those kind of fans.
Can we pick that up as life lessons with Shuey?
Could do. I could just cut Shuey for next week as well and use that for most of his season review at the same time.
Please.
We've been talking about managers. Phil Neville's left Portland Timbers by mutual consent. Oh God!
Shocker!
Oh God!
Shocker!
Does that worry any of you on it?
Especially if he's agents Will Salthouse.
Do you know what?
Mate.
Do you know what? When he left, not long after he left England Women's, and I think this was probably before the takeover. He was one that I thought, it wouldn't be worth I wouldn't mind a little gamble, to be honest. Because I thought he did quite a good job with him. I thought they played some all right stuff at times.
Yeah. How do you feel about that now?
How about no?
Oh, jeez. You would have been in hell.
Maybe we could like Celtic love an experiment with a failed out with like a MLS manager, you know, like that'd be something.
Do you know what? The decisions go Celtic's way so much, even Fizzer would.
Yeah.
Have you seen they come out and they said the handball decision was wrong against Motherwell?
Oh, insane. Yeah. I mean, we all saw that at the time. It was bonkers, that decision.
The whole footballing world, we could see.
Can you imagine getting so many bad decisions going your way? That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing to me. Okay, right, cool.
Speaking of.
Oh wait, John had something about Saints, didn't he?
Yeah, go on, John.
Oh, real quick one. Just I was talking about the fact that with a manager now, like, it's more just the point that, like, coming into the last year of parachute payments, and this pretty much is do or die in terms of going up. If we're serious about that, I want a manager, not a project. I think we've had so many consecutive years now of very random experimentation, and I think it's just about time that we went back to just somebody who understands what the job is at hand and has a bit more of a pragmatism about them, instead of being married to a style or a particular manager, one person's philosophy, like, which has pretty much deteriorated the club from the top down for the last few years. So, do I think I'll get that under Sports Republic? Absolutely not. But you know, that would be my hope for the year ahead.
Liam Rosenior, then, yeah.
Yeah.
Ralph,
Do you know what? I actually.
Ralph Hussein-Ott's not got a club.
See, that's the one I want. You know, like concentrate on the football, press from the front. You know, like, hey, let's play. But get us out of this league. Sorry.
Fair enough. So, Samir, like I've said a few times, this isn't a season preview. First off, congratulations, champions of England.
Yeah, absolutely.
First show since it's happened, so congratulations. Table doesn't lie. Arsenal have won the league, won it by 7 points in the end. The City lost again on the final day. But,
Cruised it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Easy.
So,
Easy.
So, like many people have said in the past, in the Premier League, if you stand still, you move backwards. With your title this season being built more around defence, how do you feel, or what do you feel Arsenal have to do to now move forward again so other teams don't catch up?
So there's two things. I feel like with us, I don't really want to go that Liverpool route too strong, of, like, you know how they won the league and then broke the record twice and stuff like that. I like the intent and what Liverpool were doing. It's just trying to be like that dominant side and stuff. I want that approach. Adding
breaking a transfer record would be horrible, by the way.
I don't want that. No, yeah, I don't
ever want my club to do that.
oh. No, but not even that. Not in a sense like that. I think it just brings too much noise when you're breaking transfer records and stuff. Everyone's looking at Isaac. Everyone's looking at what's his name? Who's the other one they broke the transfer? Wirtz. Yeah, I don't know. I think we don't need to go as loud like that. We've got a strong enough squad. I think even without signings, I think we could go again in that sense. But yeah, I want more firepower in the front line, but not too many. Like, if you look at our age right now, like, I think the oldest player in the squad is probably Raya, who's 30, 31, one of them. But yeah, so the squad's young. Obviously, they know they've got that taste of winning. So let's go again, man. Let's go into that next season. 0-0, boys. Like we used to say. We used to say when you're 1-0 up.
Would you not be interested in someone to play on the left, Samir?
Yeah. 100%. But I don't know. I just feel like with this whole feel-good moment, I don't even see us selling Trossard or Martinelli. Which is scary.
I don't think Trossard should go. But like I was hearing yesterday, Martinelli scored 1 league goal all season, which I think is just phenomenally bad.
Somerville's really good. Somerville's really good.
You know what? No, why am I laughing? That's actually good. He's better than Martinelli.
He's better than Martinelli, yeah.
Yeah. You can have take Gordon. We'll take Somerville. You can have Gordon.
He's already gone. He's already gone.
Oh, Samir, but that's a great point, Mitch. You've been heavily linked with Gordon. Is that the kind of player you think you'd need to improve you?
No, anything to be fair, anything better than Martinelli. I'll be real.
Yeah,
That'd be great for you.
I agree with
He'll win loads of set pieces. You'll be laughing.
Oh,
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, he would.
Genuinely, he does. He must draw more fouls than anybody else in the league.
The guy is annoying.
Like, he is good at it.
He is annoying. We get a lot of set pieces with him. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this whole feel good moment with, I don't know if they'll be looking at wanting to sell Martinelli. But yeah, I'd love someone on that left side, man.
But then I know what you said about higher value transfers and all the noise that comes with them. If you sign someone on the left hand side, it's going to be that type of transfer. You do realise that, don't you?
Yeah,
It has to be now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not world breaking record. I think we're quite good in terms of like not getting robbed in a sense by certain teams. We're good at negotiating and bringing prices down. Like we don't get sucked in like United. Like, yeah, we want 150 mil. Oh, here you go. Like we're good at bringing prices down and stuff. So I'm confident in that situation. We're not gonna go out and do something stupid. I don't think we really need to do something like that.
You say that though, mate, but as like Premier League winners, there's that puts another few bob on your head.
Yeah.
For any player you want to buy now, because they know that's what you really want and that's what you need to push on. It's like when you sell a player and they know you've got money.
Yeah.
They know you've got no mate.
Bail and they got all the players.
Can you not think that's going to be my example? Because I'm literally put my hand through the wall. Like, he's just going to get robbed blind, mate.
Yeah.
You're going to sell your magic beans, I promise you.
It's crazy, though, because I think like credit where you got to give credit to Arsenal in the last few years is that when you look at like league form of like all of those teams in and around you, you've genuinely been the most consistent in terms of a points haul because you've not had like the kind of like really mental drop-offs that like City and Liverpool's have had, or United have had a better season this year but have stunk out the joint a couple of years running. And you'd almost argue now, like I know you're saying like you don't want the feel-good factor and all of that, but you don't necessarily want that sort of complacency to creep in, because the reason managers like Alex Ferguson were always so effective was that they knew when the time was to kind of like be ruthless and improve. And I think actually when you look at the landscape of the league around you next year, you've actually got a chance to pull away if you do it the right way, because you don't know what City are going to be like. Like Liverpool keeping slot, if they do, it could be a gamble. Chelsea, I think, have the most sort of like they probably got in a better position to push their ceiling a bit, like with no Europe to focus on and so on. But even they're working within restrictions. Like Arsenal are actually in a position here where you should really be trying to sort of establish yourself as the team over here, and actually more looking at how can you be more regularly at the top table in the Champions League regularly.
Yeah,
we're like, and your record in the last couple of years has obviously spoken for itself in that respect as well. But I just think that there needs to be an element of ruthlessness in the way you recruit.
100%. But that's my thing. That's the scary bit. Do we take that Liverpool approach? Because they tried to do that with buying Isak and buying Vert. It's like take that approach of breaking records, and and getting big players like that. Like, do we want that type of noise, especially after seeing what Liverpool's done? And yeah, I would love it. I'd love to get someone and break a transfer record. But yeah, it's just like how do we approach it? Who do we sell and stuff like that? Because we do have a big squad. It's not like we have to sell to buy and stuff like that. It's just we got a big squad, so it's more like outgoings more than actually like a lot of incomings. I think there'll be a lot of outgoings than I think there'll be some shock transfers, like selling from our side. I think like someone like an Ethan. I think I think it could be up for him next season, which is
that would be a mad one though, because with the European quotas and stuff like that, why would you then just get rid of someone that falls into all of that?
Yeah,
I know, but it's just like there's literally we had to loan him out, and like there is no room, and the squad is so young, which is so scary. Like if we had someone like you think we'll probably get rid of like a Norgard or someone else like that. But then you're going to have to
Nelson.
replace that with a new signing, and it's just like, yeah, we got a big squad as it is. So yeah, I think there'll be a few outgoings and yeah, 1 or 2 incomings.
I wouldn't worry about the players you bring in.
Pardon?
I wouldn't worry about the players you bring in. I think the difference between you, Liverpool, and everyone else is that you've stuck with Arteta. He's got the same plan all the way through, clearly. Not that I like Lego Head or anything, but he has got a solid plan and he will stick to it all the way through. Where like Liverpool's had changes, City now are going to be in a real transition. Now I think they're really going to struggle now. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the next nearest one is Man United and Chelsea, and they're not exactly stable ships at the moment.
I think
if you was ever going to pull away, this is the point to become the team in England, is now.
But my point on that is, does anybody not think Arsenal have used up a bit of that juice already? Because regular, like, non-freakish teams, and I mean non-freakish teams, like anything outside of Mourinho, Alex Ferguson, and anything outside of City, teams only seem to stick around for 2, 3, 4 seasons, and then they disappear off for a couple of seasons, and then they build back to it again. This is Arsenal's 4th season in it already, so next season is going to be the 5th. And I don't see them as one of them freak teams, unless Mikel Arteta is beyond the manager that I feel that he is. How do they just keep going into the 5th season, into the 6th season, and sticking and around that same kind of points tally? Because not a lot of clubs do it, not for very long.
Genuinely, I actually think Arsenal's problem, and I know you're going to go, a bit of Spurs fan. Genuinely, I know you don't like the talk of all the decisions, VAR. It has had so much scrutiny this year. It's going to be different again next year. I think a lot of stuff that was got away with this year, not just you, but across the board, that will have to change. You know, you look at how many decisions you had, fair play, you won the league, but you look at those now and they're trying to explain them, and then you compare it to stuff at the beginning of the season, it's different to that because they're trying to explain it away to back themselves up. It's going to be an overhaul in that sense. So those fine margins aren't going to be there next year.
That set piece coach is going to do well and get on camera next season, isn't he? He's going to be fucking tape all over his office, isn't he?
The only other thing one of the other things you've got to take into consideration is the mentality switch as well. You're no longer the hunters.
Yeah,
you're the hunted. You're the champions. Every team that comes to the Emirates next season, this is a chance for us to beat the champions of England. And it just adds a little bit more into the game. And can the players switch their mentality from feeling like the underdog in the title race to going into next season as favourites?
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. That's one of my fears. Like, can you imagine? I think we had all that before even winning the league. Now it's just gonna rise. Like everyone, like you said, now we're the huntee, and it's gonna. I don't know. It's just like the question is all this going to get to the players' head? Because you see it does get to the players' head, and then they come in at the start of the season. But the difference is, I think we've got that World Cup now, so they haven't got too many distractions to go out and party and get hungover coming back pre-season, still pissed and stuff. Like we won't have that is in terms of distractions because obviously the World Cup and stuff. So. Yeah, no, next season is just going to be, it's going to be totally different. And if you add Champions League to that as well, I don't know. Like,
it's a good point. Like Mitch said about mentality, though, because even this year, you've been top of the table for 90% of the year, but you were still seen as underdogs.
Yeah.
And you played out like you were still underdogs. But City. And it worked against City. They couldn't live up to it.
Yeah.
They struggled. Next year, there is no weirdly underdogs, especially with other teams having a rebuild. Genuinely, do you think Arteta's really do you think he's got it in him to actually change that?
He's
because he seems to thrive on that. We're underdogs, we're this, we're that. I don't know.
I think he's a clever manager, man. I think the way he's run our club in terms of like discipline and stuff like that, like nothing really goes wrong in our squad, touch wood. And I think he's just got that in him for players to come back and be like, listen, let's go again, man. Don't let that get to your heads. And come on, look who's been under. He's been under Pep. Like you just see similarities between the two. and certain stuff, like drilling stuff into the players' heads, like let's go again and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Arteta's got that down to it too. I think we'll be all right because of someone like Arteta.
Can I just say one last thing, Mitch? I've got to do it. Please don't mention your disciplinary, because you should have had about 6 red cards this year. So.
No, I mean, like,
I know what you mean. Just they're decorum on and off. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But how you not got away with that is beyond me.
Yeah, no red cards.
So now the season's finished, can you admit that Havertz should have gone for that tackle against Burnley? Are we all in agreement?
He did it live, to be fair.
Oh, did it?
He was on the show last week and he said it's a red.
Oh, hats off to you then. What about the West Ham one? Are we agreeing that should have been a West Ham penalty?
We're not going back to that.
Oh, okay. No, we're not out on this. All right, cool.
Making murals and getting tattoos and getting on the back of football shirts.
Who else?
Apparently it was. Have you not seen it? Have you not seen it on socials?
Yeah.
People have got it tattooed, printed on shirts. They've got a mural somewhere in fuck. But it was
about the number 19.
Yeah,
they have. Yeah. So it's got the minute, and then it has West Ham number 19 is whatever the guy said as he came back onto the pitch. That nonsense tattooed onto it.
Wow.
I want to see some junior groupies on people's like sternums. That's what I'm after.
He's a player I'd love, by the way. I would love to have him my
He's going to be in demand.
Huh?
Yeah, but they're in Europe now, so they're in a better position to keep hold. So
it's
you say that apparently Senesi's off to Spurs, isn't he?
Yeah, I've heard.
I was going to say that makes no sense to me.
No.
No, it makes no sense from his point of view. If you say I'll come, why? I don't even want to go and I'm paying.
Yeah, but I don't think it's expected to get Europe. I don't think because he said this before the season was done that he's leaving. Like he's not signing a new contract, so I don't think he expected them to get Europe. And it's like you can't turn back now.
I think that's caught him out of the blue. Yeah, he's gambled a bit there, isn't it?
And the manager as well.
Ariola done exactly the same thing.
Yeah. But they already replaced him, so he can't turn around now.
And the Argentinian as well.
Yeah.
So he obviously knows Romero's going, so there's a space.
Yeah.
He knows he's covered.
I think he's making his spot. Quickly just slipping into his spot.
Oh, his parking space sorted, yeah.
Knows he can go back and watch his favourite side and all.
Stocky question. I don't know if you remember. Remember when we was on the pitch, and we did. I'm pretty sure the thingy was underrated player of the season. Sinclair picked a Bournemouth defender. Was it actually Senesi that he picked?
Might have been, you know.
Because if he has, that's an outrageous shout considering how good he's been this season as well.
Yeah.
Game knows game. Game knows game.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly does.
You, Mitch. What about your little Newcastle rundown? What are we saying?
I missed that.
Well, it's your turn. What are you saying about Newcastle?
Let's get it. Get it, boys.
Well, it's...
Oh, yeah.
Is that my connection?
I was going to say that. I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I can't figure out if it's actually my connection with Shuey's because it went a bit funny, but basically Shuey's, I got the basis of it, yeah. So I was going to try and avoid it, but clearly not.
Samir's doing Sunderland afterwards.
The next bit is about Sunderland, so
all right, fair enough.
I'm not trying to hide from that. Whatsoever. But there's a few things that need to happen for Newcastle for me. Some of them are similar to what they were last season and probably won't surprise people. There's 4 players that need to be part of the backup rather than the rotation or the starting team next season. That is Nick Pope, Dan Burn, Joe Linton, Jacob Murphy. All 4 of those players, we need to sign enough players, good enough players, for them to be purely backups. Not the second choice, not the rotation, backup. If that doesn't happen, we haven't had a good enough summer. I think everybody else in the squad who has played a major role this season can play a major role again next season. We've pivoted to a 4-4-1-1, if you want to call it a 4-2-3-1 this season. It feels like we need to sign a DM, which means that if Bruno or Tonali doesn't play, we have someone that sits in that allows the other centre midfielder to have more freedom. And I quite like the system. It seems to work. We went away from it again yesterday and we were awful, but it's getting Voltemada in the game more. And we've got a bit of a dilemma up front still. I think our back four is decent. We need a new goalie. The midfield, the pool of midfielders is very good, but we do need one more or two more maybe. We're going to need to replace Gordon because he will go. And then it's just the dilemma of the striker. Do we risk that Osula keeps improving at the rate he's improving and go with him? Do we hope that Visser gets back to his Brentford form and keep those two? Do we sign someone to play in front of both of them? Lot to be done, but them four things from the start are the key. If we change that, I think people will be very shocked how much of a different side we are next season. And we've got one game a week.
Interested to see Lewis Miley signed. Like the new 6-year deal for Miley's been announced already.
Yes.
So that's quite a promising bit of business.
We have already signed a goalie who looks like he's going to come in as a number 2 rather than a number 1. It's a big risk if he comes in at number 1. But what I think is going to happen is we're going to sign a number 1. Pope will then be our number 3. This guy goes in the middle.
Who's the guy you've signed? Where's he from?
Rems from. I'm not. Are they in the top league in France? Stocks? I don't know.
I'll take top 10.
Don't know, mate.
I'll take top 10.
Don't know. West Ham this year have put me off.
Checking every cover.
Life.
We got to speak about it.
His name is Yuan Zhaoen. And no, they're in League 2.
I ain't seen him on FM, so
yeah, he's from the French second division. So yeah, so to sign him from the French second division and then him to start for us next season is a big jump. So that's why I feel he's number 2.
I've got to ask, who would you take as a centre mid? Who would you take as a defensive midfielder?
Well, I would have loved the guy that's going Man United, which is Edison.
Edison. Oh yeah.
I would love to bring back Elliot Anderson, but he's going to be way too costly and too many clubs going for him. Another one I really like the look of. Actually, this also all depends on Lewis Miley. John mentioned the Lewis Miley contract. If he comes through and we're going to play him as a 6, we can sign a different profile as midfielder. But if he's going as an 8, we still need a 6. I quite like the look of Hayden Hackney, but again, does he come in and start from the off?
Championship Player of the Year and well deserved.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on so much stuff because I am still positive. Lewis Miley is gonna be the starting midfielder for England not by the Euros. He'll be starting for England by the Euros. It's just whether he can stop getting these little niggly injuries that I truly believe are down to the fact he's just getting of that age where his body's stopping growing. The rest of his body is getting used to the size he is now because he's an absolute giant.
Yeah, he's grown.
And and go from there because none of the injuries are the same. It's a different injury here and there, and I think it's just his body maturing a bit that's causing him a few problems.
And if someone that needs a big summer, it is you. Honestly, you need a big summer. After the summer you had obviously at the beginning of the transfer window.
We have everything in place now. It's the first summer in 4 seasons, maybe 3 seasons that we've had everything in place to go out and sign players. So since
you've got a solid foundation.
I have no worry about our foundation. Our end to the season wasn't what I expected it to be, but I think a lot of people don't allow for the games have dropped off, but the tiredness is already there.
Yeah.
And the mental fatigue from it is already there, and you're already setting your ways for the season. So having a reset mid-season is so hard, especially without a proper international break with all the players. So, yeah, I'm not massively worried about next season like Newcastle fans. I think we'll be
any departures. Like beyond Gordon,
I think will be Gordon. Beyond that, you might see maybe a Tino Livramento was my thoughts, but the noises this week he's pretty much agreed the new deal. Same with Lewis Hall. There was talks around him, but he's pretty much agreed a new deal. There's a lot of talk around Sandro Tonali, but Gordon hasn't featured for us in the last 4 or 5 games. Tonali's been on the team sheet every single week unless injured. So I don't think we see anybody that high profile.
Speak for
The
yourself,
next high
innit?
profile ones could be one of the front guys. It could be Wissa, it could be Voltamada, maybe a Joe Willett goes, but I don't think you see anybody as more high profile than Gordon or in that same bracket. Or maybe a few talks today that Bruno's gone because of the way he came off yesterday. But yeah, because of how he came off yesterday, he sat down, undid his laces, and pretty much said, "Stop me off." But
oh wow,
I am at the stage now where this is probably going to sound bonkers because he's clearly our best player. That I don't mind if he leaves as long as we replace him well, because our play focuses through him too much. Which means we're so easy to shut down. You shut down Bruno, you shut down Newcastle. And then when he doesn't play, we don't really tend to win that many games. So we either need to sign someone that the team look to a lot more so that it takes the weight off Bruno, or if he goes, it then shares the weight, the load around a bit more. So yeah, I'm not that fussed, to be fair. I'm not that worried about us going into next season because everything's in place to have a good summer. And we've got money.
Yeah, that's a scary.
Well, that's one thing you've definitely got. Yeah,
that's one thing I don't like. You got the money.
That's right. Newcastle ain't allowed to spend it. The only club who's never been allowed to spend their riches.
Yeah. We've actually got a decent amount to spend. Because of everything that went on last summer, selling this at, and our wage bill's never really been massive. There's quite a bit of wiggle room in there. So we just need to spend it right.
Easier said than done, isn't it?
Yes, 100% true. 100% true. Right. The next bit I wanted to go on to is the European spots. 3 clubs tied into one. Bournemouth, Sunderland, Brighton. All have done exceptionally well to qualify for Europe, because I don't think many people would have gambled on any of those clubs, apart from maybe Brighton in the Conference League, to actually get a European spot this season. They've all done it. It's fantastic work. My questions, 2 questions that are kind of joined together. Do you feel all of these clubs have either hamstrung themselves for next season or given themselves a stupid amount of work to do over the summer to get a squad big enough to handle 2 games a week, 3 games a week sometimes? And spin-off, do you think this could potentially harm the Premier League coefficient to a point that we lose that extra Champions League spot next season?
I think to the first point, I'd say if you use Nottingham Forest as an interesting case study this season, it's not like, because when you look at it traditionally, Forest have, for where they are, generally thrown money at it since coming up. Particularly, obviously, then like even sort of like tying down Gibbs White to the sort of deal they would have done at gunpoint last season when he was about to go off to Spurs. But like, I think if you use that as a measuring stick, like, yes, they've given themselves an awful lot to do, because I am not sure that any of these clubs operate under. I don't worry about Brighton as much in the Conference League, but I do think particularly for Sunderland and Bournemouth, for the measures that they operate in and around, they've given themselves an awful lot to do to be maintaining the push on both fronts. And I do expect both of them to have quite difficult domestic campaigns next year as a result of that.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of why I wanted to bring the point up. And I know you brought up Forest there, but when Forest came up, they signed the most players I think anybody's ever seen in a transfer window.
Well, it was like a whole new squad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
at least like 22. Yeah, it was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They signed that many new players that they had to send some of the new players out on loan because they couldn't register them. It was mental.
Easy, man. Proper Moneyball stuff, like, you know, like.
Yeah, and it feels like all 3 of these clubs, maybe not, like you say, maybe not Brighton as much because they've always been quite clever with transfers, but the squad depth thing is a real problem. And
they've done it before, as well. They've been in Europe. Yeah.
I was going to say, because they've managed it before, and you know what? If you look at Palace this year as well, like if you ask most Brighton fans, would you take like a 13th, 14th place finish next season if you won the Europa Conference League? Of course they take it. Mm-hmm. So like, in a way, as long as Brighton can steer themselves away from actually being in danger, which I think with what they built up as a squad, unless they get absolutely plundered by unless bigger teams come in and plunder them, I don't foresee that happening massively. I think they've got more than enough to be okay on both fronts and certainly go a long way in the Conference League.
Oh, so Brighton's in the Conference League.
Yeah.
Brighton's Conference League, Sunderland and Bournemouth are Europa.
Somehow,
I think Brighton's the most equipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say Brighton, Bournemouth, Sunderland.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic achievement for Sunderland, and loads of people are saying how great they are. We've all watched them at some point. What did you think they were like?
Trash towards the end. Towards the end of the season.
I thought they had great vibes at home early on in the season, and that carried the fuck of it for a long time.
100%. I don't think they were that good towards the end.
I think the side, they've had like a proper 1 in 100 season, because I don't think they were particularly great, but they just did really well at home to start with, and it snowballed a little bit from there. I don't think they'll get away with that again.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd have to improve massively just to stay anywhere near where they did in the league, and to do Europe as well. It's a massive ask.
I also think where we talked about.
Go on, John.
I was just going to say, I think where we talked about how like some of the ceilings and so on have like either moved and lowered and so on. You finished 7th place, scoring 42 goals in 38 games. That is damning. Like in most seasons, that would have you nearer the bottom 4, like bottom 3. Sorry. So like it's quite. I think Sunderland doing it is a lot of it is timing as well. Like it's an anomaly. Like their last 2 games, they played 2 teams that are pretty much just flat on their arse in Everton and Chelsea. But again, obviously over 38 games, they've done enough to be there. I just think it's very fortuitous, and I'd just advise Sunderland fans to pack your bags, get your passports renewed, and make sure you enjoy it, because I don't think you're going to be seeing it regular. But
yeah. 100%.
Okay, well, here's my one dig on Sunderland on the passport thing. I don't think any of them have them because they've never been to Europe before. So, fuck.
You do so well. I'm so proud of you.
If no one said the word passport, I never would have said it.
Oh, you cheer up, man. I was at Wrexham away. I've been to Cardiff, man.
You seem really annoyed for someone who doesn't care about them. Trust me, that's the only time I'm ever going to stick up for you. It's just that. That's all I've got.
It was just a good joke, and someone said passport, so I thought I'm going to use it now. It's a good joke.
I personally think they probably. It's weird to say, but they probably would have preferred Europa Conference, because Europa League is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. Like it's going to take a toll on them. Europa Conference is.
Have you seen some of the sides that have? Won the Europa League recently, Samir? They're like relegation fodder almost.
It's not with Sunderland though.
I'm not going to make a comment about winning Europe and going down. We leave that for them.
Sorry, it's not coming over my head. That went over my head. I forgot how you want it.
Just a quick one. Why we have had a little chat on squad depth and stuff. Looking at the numbers that players have played for each club in the Premier League this season, I would say based off that, Brighton look the most equipped, because they spread their minutes across their squad better than the other teams already this season. So they've got like 6 defenders that have played over 1,200 minutes. Same in midfield, and then they've got 5 attackers that have done the same.
Yeah.
And none of the other clubs have got that. They've all got 3, 4, 5 in each position.
I can't remember who I spoke to about it recently, about Bournemouth. Did we speak on the pod, or did I do it down the pub? And like how they're quite a funny side, because essentially they live off the Premier League money, because they've only got 15,000 grand, so they don't actually make much money.
No.
Yeah,
so it's like they're almost like kind of a sugar daddy. It sort of went under the radar that when they come up through the leagues, they were just being bankrolled to get to the Premier League, and then that sort of cover the things. And it's certain, they have certain restrictions for that in Europe, and also will their ground be big enough, or is it like there was a serious question about that, weren't there, John?
Redknapp's dog being a silent partner.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but the regulation stuff is I don't know whether that's still, because obviously is that like a UEFA regulation or is that just like a Champions League specific?
Yeah, it might be Champions League, I suppose then. Yeah. But in terms of trusting them to go out and improve the squad depth, I wouldn't worry about them doing that. I think they've done pretty well in recent years. It's very safe to say. But again, when people know, when people know, they're like, they'll have some European money. We'll chuck a couple more.
Yeah. Bournemouth have
been that's the problem.
Heavily on the core of their team this season for minutes. That they've got 3 players over 3,000 minutes.
Jesus.
And looking for
that's what I mean. The depth to play in Europe is just ridiculous. That's why, I think it's going to be a real struggle.
Looking at the other 2 sides that have qualified for it, they both have 1. And they've only just about got over 3,000. But Bournemouth have got Senesi, Truther, Alex Scott is very close. And Marcus Tavernier. All of them have got their goalie. All of the goalies are above it. I didn't even count the goalies in the count.
Yeah.
They're not footballers, are they?
I mean, I think obviously coming off the back of a World Cup summer as well, like there's going to be a general fitness issue, I would imagine, next season across the board. Like not just over here, but like all leagues. I think so with that in mind as well, I think there's going to be a higher risk of injury crisis not being uncommon across the league next year. And if you're a Bournemouth with the size of that squad, yes, I think Well, maybe it's that they've been fortunate with that this season.
You mentioned in the World Cup, everyone could be scatting up the biggest Cape Verdean star or Uzbekistani. You know, there's some rogue transfers to be added after a World Cup. if one of an emerging nation, if someone scores a hattie, they get picked up, don't they?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I just love Bournemouth, man. Well deserved, man. Honestly, they played.
100%
football in the league.
They've also got to get a manager. Oh, they've got Rosa, haven't they?
Yeah, no, that's off of me.
That's a change, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it? What sort of football does he play? Because I think Iraola going probably does them a favour in this aspect, because that's what's crippled us. And Iraola and Howe play very similar types of football. It's very high press, fast transitions. It's very much built around the work rate of the team. So having to play in Europe with that probably would have done them a little bit more damage. But I'm not sure what this Rosa guy's like.
I know he had a bad time when he was at Dortmund.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That much time.
Oh my god. No, I'm trying to Google it, but
it's not like they were forced to get this guy though. It's not like they really wanted. They were kind of like forced because obviously Ariola's leaving. Of course, they wanted. They would prefer to have kept Ariola, but yeah, it could get messy for them next season. I don't know what this manager is too much, but I don't know if he's going to come in and play the type of football we've been seeing from Bournemouth for the last 2 seasons now.
But if he's coming from Frank de Boer,
But where was he at? Dortmund before? Where else has he been?
Leipzig.
Was it?
So he's come from teams that have had to juggle Europe then.
Yeah.
Is the point. So he's not like new to it in that sense. So whatever his football is, you'd like to think that's in the game plan of how he sets up. He's used to having to rotate competitions, Europe and league.
Yeah.
It sounds peak German.
Do you know what's funny? I've just put it through a AI, and it's done a little rundown of how he plays tactically, and then it's put a decent Premier League comparison stylistically is somewhere between Iraola's Bournemouth, early Klopp Liverpool, and a slightly more structured version of Ange Postecoglou's aggressive football.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
man.
We all have to watch them next year.
Medical staff have just taken a deep breath on the South Coast.
Yeah, that's the first 2 days, and then the last one is
rubbing his hamstrings now, just feeling it.
Evening, Brian. How's it going, sir?
Evening, both.
Yeah. So when I checked it out, Mitch, he's like Pete Klopp, Gegen pressing, 4-2-2, like a narrow 4-4-2. 4-2-2.
It's going to be hamstrings pinging like Monzo accounts, isn't there? Like, it's going to be bonkers.
He's over there. They're already starting the season now. Jeez. It's going to be
interesting, though.
It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting about how a lot of clubs go about their summer, because even if you roll into, say, Man United, now they've got Champions League back. They've got a massive summer ahead because they've basically been going same again. They can't do that next season. They're going to have backup players that can contribute.
Whilst losing Casemiro, who was excellent this year, he was much maligned at the start.
Yeah,
I was going to say the second half of the season, class.
It was because they had a proper setup. They didn't have this Bandulu style that Amorim wanted. Carrying double basics.
I ain't heard that in ages.
That was like when you was calling someone a breader the other week.
They've all got
little bit of support for you there, Stocks, fellow West Ham fan.
Oh, nice one, Brian.
Sorry, Brian.
Sound like you're being here.
Sorry.
No, genuinely, I actually am quite gutted for West Ham. I already said I have a bit of a soft spot for West Ham, as much as I'm a Spurs fan. So I am really gutted they've gone down. So I know you're waiting for a joke that genuinely isn't. I genuinely am quite gutted.
Do you know who's most gutted? Metropolitan Police.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're currently drafting militia from all around the world to try and control it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? It didn't even occur to me for a minute.
First 8 a.m. kickoff in this country.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I have to admit, like it's one thing. It's one thing West Ham going down. I do feel bad for the West Ham fans, I know, but my God, when I saw like the tastiness of like Bolton being in there next year, West Ham, the trips we're going to have are going to be bonkers next year.
I was saying, I can't wait for the Champo trips.
Championship was fun this season.
Literally started a separate pod. Got to have Champo trips. That's it.
Oh,
just full Champo everything.
Like the Owls derbies are like going to be through the roof next year. It's going to be brilliant.
Hey, mate, I'm going to have so many good neutral trips next season. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah.
You know, innit?
Yeah.
Can I just ask one random thing about football? Has a lot of teams released their kits already?
Yes.
Because I've seen some come up that they released their kits.
Yeah.
They didn't even wear them on last game of the season.
They normally wear them last home game, didn't they? They normally wear the new home kit last
home game. Did Arsenal wear their... No, they were away, didn't they?
They release the kit every week, Shuey.
Yeah, I know. I know, they ain't great for it. But I noticed a few of them, they're advertising the new shirts. And I noticed Tottenham didn't because they didn't know what badges they were going to put on them. Fair play.
Because apparently West Ham have got new badges next year.
Think of that.
You really?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Although new badges are probably trying to back out. Like,
No, genuinely, I saw like a lot of teams releasing them. I mean, I was talking to Ellis, and I was saying that they used to do that. Last game of the season, you used to wear your new home kit, didn't you?
Yeah.
So everyone saw it for the next season.
Man United have had it out.
I just wondered if any of you lot did.
Man United had theirs out for a couple of games, yeah.
Yeah, but they're absolute whores when it comes to money and kits as well. So
they've got to sign all these players to beef up that squad.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, who thinks Carrick's going to be a victim of his own success?
I think so. Yeah.
100%.
Apparently, Liverpool wore theirs. We definitely didn't wear ours.
I saw it. Is it?
Ours is terrible.
But how do you get black and white stripes?
Exactly.
I don't even mean that taking a mickey. Like, genuinely, how do you get stripes right?
Someone's not put the ruler straight or something like that. Got diagonal stripes.
Mitch just got his concentrating face on, so he's getting a picture.
I don't know if it's actually been confirmed, but It looks
generally. And the other thing, I don't want to take the mick, but Arsenal's, I'm pretty sure I saw Arsenal's. I can't tell the
It's
difference.
exactly the same. It's exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Like, generally, you boys are getting robbed. Like, it's red and white and it has white Adidas stripes. Who saw that coming?
It's honestly taking the piss out of us, man.
Arsenal got a lot of marks. There's a lot of like app designers in Islington that are fucking eating that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, that's a third kit or a warm-up kit. That is not a kit.
That's an idea.
No, that isn't
That's
it.
an idea that doesn't even make it to the suggestion table. That's just one guy going, you know what, I've mocked this shirt up, and everybody looks at it and goes, no.
That's a set of pajamas that gets your internet history checked. In all honesty, like that is disgusting.
I told you.
You know when you see them. You know when you see them kits online and you go, oh, that's one of them prototype kits. No one even makes that and they mass produce them somewhere online. And the geezer's walking around with them. Newcastle soon now going, you know what? That's a kit. Because there is no way someone from Newcastle.
Someone's been out on the big market, like they're meant to be designing the kit, and they've realised, like, woke up with a hangover the day after. Realised they've got to have it done by like 9 o'clock the next morning. They've just fossilled that together. It just looks horrible.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
They've just screenshotted a barcode. That's literally it.
So bad. It
Don't let that out.
So bad.
Anyone think we need to do a kit?
To be fair, that would be good. I don't mind the blue stripes on it. You used to have a kit with blue stripes, didn't you? Or blue accents.
We've always the blue tint has always been the third colour on a Newcastle shirt. But
that's what I mean. That sense is quite nice. You've just got fucking stripes on.
Surely you're
equally sized, decently width stripes. Do whatever else you want to the trim or the collar or
I wonder where you was going with that.
Just decent and symmetrical. What are we doing?
It's not. Is the nostalgist in me sort of? Are we not approaching an era where surely we've got like a 30th anniversary Newcastle Brown L kit to do it?
Oh mate, the one I had. Me and Samir went on Flying the Ball yesterday. The shirt I had on there. If we do a revamp of that, oh my god, it'd be the first time I've bought a shirt.
Yeah, honestly.
Fair.
Is it just an OCD thing with that kit that's done now? Because of the stripes.
It's just horrible. It's just not a nice shirt to look at.
Yeah, guys, come on. As soon as we saw that, we were shocked.
It worked great, to be fair. It's unanimous. The first time we've all agreed on something as well.
Yeah. Because Adidas are too busy trying to give Arsenal another 17th kit of the year, and they've just gone, oh, yeah, Newcastle's all right. Don't chuck it in. Too busy doing Arsenal.
Dare I say it? Dare I say it, no matter what you put out in Newcastle, I assume it sells like hotcakes anyway, just because like they're just bonkers up there, aren't they? They're hot Gregs.
I don't think that one will, because
you'd be surprised, buddy.
Everybody has absolutely destroyed it.
That is a bit mad though, just saying that Arsenal's kit looks no different, and then they've gone, watch this Newcastle. Just absolutely smashed it.
A similar thing though is that I feel like that Arsenal kit will just sell because you just won the league, and then like God forbid if you win Saturday, like it will just sell because it's Arsenal.
Yeah.
Nah, Arsenal sell well because they're always sold in JD Sports. It's not that it's a nice kit. It's whatever's been sold in JD Sports. It was like Man United and Arsenal and Liverpool, 3 red shirts sold in JD Sports. They always sold well. No one knew anything about football, but it looked cool. Yeah. That was the point.
It's true. It's true. You get loads of non-Arsenal fans back there because of the look.
It's like you just climb down the track.
Here we go.
That's what I mean.
do well. Revamp this bad boy.
Yeah.
I looked there. I was like,
bring back the collar.
The Grandad collar one.
I love the Grandad collar one, but it just this one just tips it. The Grandad collar was 96, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
The problem is with those shirts, they weigh about 4 times as much as these new shirts. As well.
There is so much.
Not really aerodynamic. You can't wear it in the rain.
I don't know. I'm so fat. One of them would be skin tight on me.
Mate, it was
enough sweat. Anything can, mate.
I can't lie. I looked at it and I was like,
That's right. That's nice. That is when I think of Newcastle. That's what I think of. To be fair.
Yeah.
The other one that Stocky's talking about is this bad boy. This is my second favourite, to be fair. the old school, a little button-up collar at the front.
Philip Albert,
Yeah.
Philip Albert shirt.
Oh yeah.
But all it's got to be is just evenly spaced straps. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Do what else you want with the rest, and you can't really get it wrong. And they've got it terribly, terribly wrong.
Got it wrong.
Right. They'll only charge you 80 quid for the joy of having that as well.
Yeah,
That's something ridiculous.
If that, no, it's 100 plus. 100
Really?
plus. Yeah, shirts.
Nah, Newcastle shirts are not 100.
Nah.
Well, we were searching
Nah. 80 to 90 for the standard, but if you want the player one, it's like 120, innit?
Yeah.
That's why. It's over a ton if you want the player edition.
I genuinely don't think Newcastle shirts go that high.
Really?
I looked earlier.
They must do the player edition
because our third shirt it's the blue of one of my favourite shirts, and I looked at it and they weren't that high.
Well, buy that one for this season.
I'm gonna once they've
gonna go
fully
down now.
released them, I'm gonna buy last season's shirts.
Get online now; they'll all be like 50% off or whatever. So
remember when everyone's shirt used to be on like M&M clearance, M&M Direct?
Yes.
That's the only time I get. Nearly all of my recent West Ham shirts are like, they're going for a score on there, just to keep the collection ticking.
Yeah.
I know you're a different generation to me. You're a bit younger, but I know you boys. I'm hoping you boys remember when home kits used to be 2 years.
Yes, I do.
And your away kit was one.
Me, you and Stocky are all the same age, Shuey. What is going on here?
Yeah, no, I'm saying you. I didn't know about John. I didn't.
I'm like a couple of years behind you, bro. I'm not too far behind you.
That's what I mean. But it used to be home for 2 years, and you got a new away kit every year.
Yeah,
and that was it. Like that was the dream.
If anyone's wondering,
now we have like 3 or 4 kits a year.
If anyone's wondering, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. They've already gone down. I might get one.
My thumbs are going to be clicking at the end of this conversation. Like,
he just moved on. I like that move.
Decent. Right, we have only got 3 minutes because Spurs Kings are going live tonight, and they've got a lot to talk about. So, if anybody wants any more Spurs chat, head over to Spurs Kings TV. Go to it now. Fly on the Wall perspective. Me and Samir were on that Saturday. They stream live for the first time, so that's already on their channel. The more polished version will be going up whenever they've sorted that out. So keep your eye out for that.
I do have a plug.
Last little bit on Brian. Brian saying, I remember kits lasted about 6 years.
Living your best life there, mate. We're so well.
And before John's plug, last little bit for me, do like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, do all of that good stuff. The shorts are back. They will be going out every single day, 2 or 3 a day. So keep an eye out for them on the channel as well. Over to you, John, to sign us out.
Yeah, one of my best friends is a sports photographer, and he's kind of started this up himself over the last few years. And through a lot of hard work and a lot of grit and a lot of determination, has kind of got himself into a variety of different amazing sort of. So he did a lot of work in non-league with Billericay, and he's kind of this season he's floated about doing a lot of work at Ipswich. He was at the FA Cup semi-final. I was at for Saints. He does a range of sports. He doesn't just do football, but obviously. So he's going to be at Wimbledon at points this year. And yesterday, what made me think of it, so I've been meaning to say this for a few weeks, but he was at Fulham yesterday because he was actually doing a kind of a personal follow round of Bruno Guimaraes, which I'm eager to find out a little bit more about from him as well. But on Instagram, and obviously next week I'll plug it again, but we can get a crawler up for him. But if you're looking for him on Instagram, it's kdp.sports. So Kevin, David, Peter, .sports. But yeah, amazing guy. All you guys give him a follow, man. He's got some amazing work up there. So
is his name actually Kevin David Peter?
No, his name's Kieran. But
I was about to say you can't have 3 first names. I'm sorry, that doesn't work.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that he didn't get mistakes like Kevin KDB. Kevin De Bruyne. It's definitely a P at the end of it. So. But if you check out the catalogue of work he's got, it's incredible. So
Okay. For those that actually use the correct alphabet when using that stuff, Kilo, Delta, Papa.
That's the one.
By what John
OCD's down again.
The guy that teaches phonics not doing the phonetic alphabet must be killing Mitch right now.
My brain went crazy, and I know Brian in the chat. He would have lost his mind at that as well because he's an ex-Navy man. So he would have been like, these kids.
Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
So all those that have joined, thank you
Nice,
very much. We will catch you again next week. Like I say, look out for the shorts. There'll be a few little bits sneaking in there. I'm going to try and get Samir to do at least something on the Champions League final before the game starts, but we'll see what happens. But till next week, take care, people.
Thank you, boys.
Yes.